嗨，欢迎回到我频道。今天呢，很高兴也很荣幸邀请到我的偶像 Steve Kaufman。那为什么说他是我偶像呢？因为他精通了20门以上的外文，然后他的 YouTube 的订阅人数目前是110万，是非常的高。所以不管是在语言学习或是在 YouTube 经营，他都非常的厉害。
行きます是去，行きたい是要去。
那其实在我还没有开始学多个语言之前，我都一直看他影片在做学习。他也可以算是启发我、引导我去走上语言学习道路的人。那这次呢，我们的访谈非常特别，我们会用世界3大语言，也就是中文、英文、西班牙文来进行这次的访谈。透过访谈，我们会知道 Steve 他在语言学习的时候，他的一些小技巧。访谈的大部分呢，我们会着重在语言学习上。不过我私心就是在影片最后就问他了一个跟语言学习不相干的一个问题，可是我觉得是对于我个人，还有就是对所有人都很重要的一个问题，所以记得要看到最后。那我们就直接开始。
Hi. Okay, there we are.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Okay, so I start with the question in Chinese, in Mandarin.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. 好，很欢迎 Steve 来到我们的频道。然后，因为 Steve 在语言学习圈很有名，不过可能还是有少部分人不认识您，所以可以请你稍微自我介绍一下吗
OK， 那我很喜欢学语言，学了不少语言。还有呢，我有一个叫什么 YouTube channel 频道，有一个频道叫 Lingo Steve， 还有一个网站呢是专门为了学习语言叫 Link。但是主要呢，我现在78岁，最近20年我就特别就是集中我很多这个努力在学习不同语言，这是我的爱好，可以这样说。
应该是专业，非常非常专业。
不是专业，也可以，但是主要是爱好，也不是爱好，我就不需要做这个，因为在我这个工作的时候。多半是在这个做木材生意。我这木材公司还有，所以我头7年是做外交官，以后40多年做了就是木材生意。那么现在第3个这个行业呢，就是关于这个学习语言的活动。
那我相信，就是你对于语言学习啊，就是因为你学得非常久，然后所以一定有很强烈、很深刻的认知跟成就。我想要问说，因为语言学习其实有非常多不同的方法，我们可以看 YouTube， 我们可以看书，我们可以找老师。那有没有哪一种是你觉得最有效的，或者是如果只能选一种，你会选哪一种学习方法？
那我觉得就是一般的来讲呢，我是非常赞成这个 Stephen Krashen 的这个说法，就是主要呢就是要靠 input， 有意义，对你来讲是比较有意义的这个 message， 这个内容要多听多阅读，让大脑有机会习惯于这个新的语言。你不可以就是故意的要学习单词、背单词，或者是把一些这个文法的规则完全的掌握了，这是不可能的事情。要是经过很多经验，那个大脑会慢慢的习惯于这个新的语言，所以 input 是最重要的一个学习办法。
那 output 呢
？output 为了说的流利呢，要说的多很多。假如比如说有的人在台湾学英语，没有多大机会说英语，那么当然说的这个流利的这个程度还是不够的，还是需要有很多机会说话，或者是假如是在台湾有很多说英语的朋友，或者是到说英语的国家去，到最后需要很多这种机会。但是呢，就是你没有足够的词汇量，没有足够的经验和那个大脑还没有习惯于这个语言，你这个 output 是会很差的。所以一方面你要继续 input 的活动，另一方面要趁每一个机会用你所学的语言，说错也没关系，不要怕，就是要说就完了。但是在很多的情况之下没有机会，所以要继续 input， 因为这个 input 是比较容易，可以去看电影，可以从 YouTube 找东西，可以看书就是没有限的，那个 input 的范围是没有限的。
就是不受国家的限制，或是不受身边环境的限制 ，input 永远都是我们可以做的练习。
对，
那您会觉得就是在学习语言的前期啊，我们要先省略掉 output， 然后先专注于 input 吗？
我认为所有的在学习语言的这个活动，都是有 有意义的。所以一个会话呢，你对方就是你跟某一个人说话，但对方的说的话你听不懂，或者那个对方的人要限制他的所用的词汇或者讲的内容，为了适合你很有限的这个词汇，这不算会话，这不算真实的这个谈话，不是聊天的，就是上课嘛。你可不可以跟我说中文？因为要练习 ，OK， 但是它不是真的这个说话的这种经验，那是还是上课。所以为了能够在各不同的那个范围、不同的题目能够维持一个会话呢，你需要很多词汇，你需要很多经验，需要就是很多 input， 就是没有捷径。那个 input 是那个你没有办法，你开始说话，你从头开始说话很有限制，所以在那个你要用1个钟头用很有限的、很少数的这个词汇说话呢，这个内容不是很丰富的，没有意义的，就是同样的频度很高的，你会说的 How are you? I'm fine， 就是反复的，所以 input 还是最重要。在头1个时期，3个月、6个月，就是看情况。
也就是在我们还没有足够的 knowledge 之前，我们在做 output， 很多时候只是在浪费时间，因为这个对话是没有意义的，所以我们没有办法从上下文、从 context 学到东西。
当然，这个也是取决于你住在什么地方。比如说我住在日本的时候，我一开始学习日语，什么都不会，但是要去日本铺子，肯定要用日语，因为周围都是日本人嘛。所以有很多机会用，而我不怕，我就是说错没关系。在这种情况，但是呢，我在 Vancouver 现在学习阿拉伯语什么的，没有这种机会，所以还是集中在这个 input。
了解，谢谢。那我们进到 Español。
Muy bien, vámonos. Okay.
No tengo mucha oportunidad de hablar español en Taiwán.
Bueno, sí.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevas aprendiendo idiomas?
Aprendiendo idiomas, pues puedo decir que yo nací en Suecia. Entonces, a la edad de 5 años, toda la familia se fue al Canadá y yo olvidé el sueco y hablaba solamente el inglés. Pero a la edad de 17 tenía una pasión por el francés.
Sí.
Podemos decir que desde la edad de, 60 años. Llevo 60 años aprendiendo idiomas.
Wow. Ahora solo tengo 28 años.
Bueno, tienes mucho tiempo delante de ti.
Sí. ¿Cuántos idiomas puedes hablar ahora?
Bueno, yo digo que diferentes niveles hablo 20 idiomas. Pero hay como 6, 7 idiomas que hablo más o menos bien. Otros 5 idiomas que hablo pero menos bien. Y hay otros que he olvidado, que he aprendido, por ejemplo, el griego para un viaje en Grecia o Rumania, y ahora sería para mí difícil utilizar este idioma. Pero ahora estoy aprendiendo persiano y árabe y hablo, más o menos. Pero los idiomas como el francés, el español, el chino, el japonés, el alemán, el sueco, aún el ruso, hablo sin dificultad.
Wow, qué bueno. Hay una cosa que me da mucha curiosidad, que es ¿por qué idiomas? Porque ¿qué has encontrado en el proceso de aprender idiomas? Porque aprendiendo idiomas es muy difícil. Si no hay significado para ti mismo, es muy difícil persistir durante tanto tiempo si lo que estamos haciendo no tiene sentido.
Bueno, hay muchas cosas, muchas motivaciones. Por ejemplo, yo creo que también en tu caso, si tú sabes que tú puedes aprender un otro idioma, o sea, el inglés o el español, este da una sensación de satisfacción, de suceso. Y si tú sabes que tú puedes hacer alguna cosa, pues tienes ganas de hacerlo otra vez. ¿Okay? Yo sé, por ejemplo, que puedo aprender idiomas, entonces quiero hacerlo más. Esta es una cosa. Otra cosa En los negocios, por ejemplo, hablo bastante bien el japonés. Tenía una gran importancia para mí en mi vida profesional. No solo el japonés, pero también el alemán, el sueco. He utilizado mis idiomas en mi trabajo. Otra cosa, con los idiomas se puede encontrar personas, hacerse amigos con personas de otras culturas. Japonés, o de habla español, o chino, o lo que sea. Es interesante porque siempre encontrar personas de su cultura es bien, pero encontrar personas de otra cultura es muy interesante para mí, muy interesante. Y puedes hacerse amigos tanto con extranjeros como la gente de su país, ¿no? Somos todos, bueno, seres humanos. Otra cosa es que a mí me interesa mucho la cultura, la historia de todos los países. Estudiar y aprender sobre la historia de, yo no sé, por ejemplo, Ucrania, ¿no? Libros escritos por ucranianos. Es otra cosa que libros escritos en inglés o en ruso o en polaco. Sí, y ahora estoy estudiando el persiano, el árabe, y estoy aprendiendo muchas cosas acerca de la política, la historia, la vida en Medio Oriente. Entonces, el idioma es un camino que te permite aprender otras cosas.
Ofrecer pensamiento o perspective diferente.
Exactamente, sí. Por ejemplo, la cultura del Medio Oriente, a veces nosotros, que no somos de esta región, tenemos ideas estereotípicas de esta gente, ¿no? Y cuando empieces a aprender idiomas y escuchar esas personas hablar en su voz, en su palabra sobre la vida en su país, es otra cosa.
And to the English part?
Okay. I'm happy you can. Hit me with whatever language you want.
Okay. Wow. Impressive. Very impressive. If you are going to start learning a new language, is there a step or process and strategy that you are going to use in order to learn it very, very fast or very efficient?
So I think we should not expect to learn a language very, very fast. I think we should try to enjoy the process. If we enjoy it, we will learn, we will stay with it. If we stay with it, we will improve, and eventually we will achieve our goals. So the main thing is to enjoy it. There are no shortcuts. I am very much in favor of input-based learning.
Right.
I might buy myself a little starter book, Assimil, Colloquial, Teach Yourself. And then at Link, I use our mini stories because they were designed with a lot of repetition of high frequency, especially verbs. So you hear the same content, different tense, different person, same words, more or less, the same context. And so typically I will listen to those, lots and lots of times. And so with the Arabic, with the Persian, where the writing system is so different, that kind of gets me a start in the language. And remember, I'm very much input-based at the beginning. And then I try to find authentic content that I can use. So I can go to YouTube. And again, I tend to study at Link, so I'll find a YouTube video. I'll import it into Link. With Whisper AI, it's transcribed automatically. And then I can use that as a lesson. And if I only listen, I only understand maybe 25, 30%. But if I can read it and look up words in an online dictionary and gradually learn the words, then gradually I understand more and more. And so I sort of go through this process. And when I see that my known word count at Link is at about 5,000 known words, then I try to engage an online tutor so that I can speak with someone. And then not only can I speak, but I now have a person. I connect the language with a real live person. And that person can sometimes, usually point out things that I missed in the language about how the language works. And you start to like the person. So you want to show up again and show him or her that you've improved. So engaging with a tutor is a great thing to do.
Both of you will feel the sense of achievement throughout the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is your thought on active recall and space repetition and applications such as Anki or Quizlet?
I'm not a big user.
Okay.
You know how the brain learns words? To learn a language, you need words, right?
Repetition, right? Repetition.
Well, brain research shows that actually, what's more important than simple repetition is the variety of contexts where you meet that word. Because of the way the brain learns, and there's all kinds of research now that shows they study how it reacts and stuff like that. And so to sit there and deliberately try to learn a long list of words, sort of divorced from meaningful content, I don't think it's that useful an activity. So and you know, you need so many words. Like I was looking the other day, I have 29,000 known words in Arabic. I have about 50,000 words that I have saved. So if I'm going to review all of those in Anki, I will spend all of my study time with Anki.
Right.
And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I find podcasts on YouTube that are interesting to me, and I listen to them, I read them, I watch the video and link, I look up the words, and it's fun. So I enjoy doing it. I will review a word immediately after coming into contact with it. So if I'm doing say a podcast text that link, and so sentence by sentence, so there's 3 or 4 words that are either new to me or words that I'm still trying to learn, I will review them immediately afterwards. So if you can review it immediately after coming across the word, I think that's helpful. But if you're going to review that word based on some theoretical, you know, spaced repetition algorithm, I just don't believe in that stuff. And there's been research to show that repetition is good, of course. It's not as good as seeing it in a variety of contexts. But whether you space them regularly or space them based on Eppingheimer's curve of forgetting,
curve, right.
Apparently it doesn't make any difference. I mean, let's put it this way. There are contradictory studies. Some show that it's more effective to use an algorithm. Others show it's just the repetition. It really doesn't matter. However, I always say language learning is all about enjoying the process. So people should do what they enjoy doing.
What I enjoy, yeah. In my opinion, I do both. I also use the Anki, and I also expose myself to a lot of content. Yeah, so because I kind of believe the theory of forgetting curve and the algorithm, but I understand that we really should enjoy the process of learning a language, because if we don't, it's very easy to give up because it's a very long process.
Very long.
I have a question. How do you distribute your time? Like, because you know a lot of language, and if we don't practice, ability gonna diminish.
Okay. I spend all my time on the new languages. I don't spend any time refreshing or renewing. In my stronger languages, I'm not going to forget very much. Say the top 10, I'm not going to forget very much. I never speak Chinese. I never speak Japanese. Spanish, never, but it's there. It might, you know, slip a little bit, but it's not going to slip very much. Those languages that have slipped, it wouldn't take me long to refresh them. So if I'm going to need them, if I'm going to go on a trip to Poland or to Czechoslovakia or whatever, Czech Republic, I'll refresh it ahead of time and it'll be right back there. So I don't worry about maintaining my languages. So how I spend my time, you know, a fair amount of time is spent looking for content. And every so often you find these jewels, which I found on Arabic, in Levantine Arabic. So I was downloading MP3 files and then individually importing the MP3 files to Link, which creates the transcript. And so I was piling all this stuff into Link. And then I bought the book so that I can listen, I can read online, look up words, and then I can read on paper. But typically I spend most of my time listening because it's the easiest thing to do. Typically I'll listen first thing in the morning. I get up before my wife, I make breakfast and I'm listening, make you know, coffee, I clean up. I've become a model husband now because I do all these things around the house while listening to languages, you know. But when you listen, there are lots that you miss. So that then sort of triggers my curiosity to read and look up words. Listening is the biggest because it's so easy to do.
Right. And you can do listening while you are doing other stuff, but
absolutely
speaking, reading, writing, you have to like focus on it.
Yep.
Okay, so there are tons of videos and interviews out there on YouTube or on the internet where you talk about language. So I want to ask you something different, not about learning language. Okay. And you are 78 years old, right? And has been to many places, have seen so much of the world. So you're a man of full of experience. So for someone like me in their 20s or 30s, what's one piece of life advice you would give?
So with life in general or language learning?
Not language learning, because there are too many content of you talking about language.
The big thing is, if you have an opportunity to take a chance and do something, do it. Don't end up regretting 20 years later that you didn't do it. Just go for it. go for it. Not something stupid, mind you, but whether it's in business, of course you have to think the thing out. You have to have a plan. But particularly when you're younger, you may not yet, I don't know if you have a family or not, but when you have fewer responsibilities, that's an opportunity to, go for stuff. That would be the big thing. And also to keep an open mind. And another thing is, never burn any bridges. People, you don't achieve anything in life without other people. And so treat people with respect. And even if you have an unpleasant experience, just don't burn your bridges.
I really do agree with not regretting. So my YouTube channel is called 家俊的YOLO生活. So YOLO is like you only live once. But many people express YOLO as you just do something crazy or kind of foolish because you only live once. But to me, I think YOLO not only means this kind of thing, but also the opposite. Like when you have to take responsibility or when you have to work very hard, you also have to take responsibility and work very hard because you only live once. So I really do agree.
I agree. And you have to be responsible to yourself. That means that you have to know stuff. You can't just do something stupid. Like even if it's a matter of adventure, you can't go climbing a mountain or skiing off a trail somewhere where you don't know the conditions, you don't know the trail. You can't start a business if you don't know the market, if you have to have knowledge. And so it's important to learn, to always be learning things. First of all, the more you know, the more opportunities are going to come your way, and the better prepared you're going to be if you go and do something. You can't just be silly.
And you have created a lot of content, amazing and timeless content. So if people want to hear more about you, where can they find you?
Well, of course, Lingo Steve is my YouTube channel, and I have a lot of videos there, mostly in English, but some in other languages. And of course, everyone's welcome to come to Link if they want to learn languages. We have 45 languages. We even added Hindi, and I'm going to start Hindi maybe in May or something. I'll start Hindi. But so Link and Lingo Steve, the YouTube channel.
Okay, I'll put all of this in the description of the video.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah. I just want to tell you that the way you create content is very much like the way you speak. You're very good at taking large, complex idea and deliver them to people in a way that is very actionable. And so, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for inspiring people like me.
Good. I love to see young people who are interested in languages.
Thank you so much. You really inspire me. Like in the past 1 and 2 years, I watch a lot of your content.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. 再见.
再见. Have a great day.
再见. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.